Oh, the weather outside is frightful, but the fire is so delightful. And since we've no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
Today, with Boston Lanka, the talk with Boston Lanka, we have a very special guest from Sri Lanka, Rohan de Lanerolle. I think there's no introduction needed for Rohan. I think Lanerolle Brothers are well known not only in Sri Lanka but on the world stage as well. And Rohan is an accomplished choral director, has worked as an artistic director for many international choirs, and is a musical director and celebrated juror who has been a judge on many international choir competitions around the world. So, I mean, I can go on and on, but let me stop there. We can talk a little bit more. So, welcome, Rohan. So good to have you with us at Boston Lanka.
Thank you, Chitra. Thank you so much for having me on your show. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Welcome. Now, Rohan, you were on news recently for being invited to become a founding member of the International Choir Conductors Federation, known as ICCF. And I think it's a very special and rare honor for a Sri Lankan, not only for Sri Lankan, I think from somebody from South Asia, I guess. Now, especially for those who have no idea about this ICCF, could you very briefly tell us what kind of work this ICCF does around the world?
Yes, so Chitra, the ICCF is very new, and that's why I've been invited and appointed as a founding member of the ICCF, which I feel is a single honor. I don't consider that as an honor for myself, but I do consider it an honor for our motherland, Sri Lanka. So I think that in itself is fantastic. But the work of the ICCF is going to be what should I say, published to the public in due course. We are currently in the process of drawing up its constitution and various things like that. But of course, its head office is in Rome, Italy. And we have a total membership of 68 members, founding members of the ICCF. But see, one of the things, one particular reason why this was set up, Chitrali, is because the world needs a platform for choral conductors to be represented from all over the globe. Previously, there was no such platform. And with this platform, what would happen is that it will connect people from all parts of the world on one common stage, which is the Choral Conductors Federation. So as we move on, you will see that the Choral Conductors Federation will be in time to come conducting various symposiums or probably our own competitions around the world, workshops in various countries that will uplift the standard of choral music in each other's countries. And what do we do here? It's a matter of we are learning from each other, sharing each other's cultures, learning to respect each other's cultures, and then an exchange of music as it goes on. So that is primarily what the ICCF is all about. But of course, as I said, there is much more, a much broader picture that we are all now in the process of embracing and working on to see what we can bring to the choral fraternity around the world.
Darling, so it goes. Some things are
So I guess now that you are a founding member and you're from Sri Lanka or maybe South Asia, that means there'll be more benefit for the region or for Sri Lanka in terms of choral music.
Absolutely. In terms of material, such as the experience of all these conductors that we have. And see, already I have people who are wanting to come to Sri Lanka and work with respective choirs in Sri Lanka. And when I say Sri Lanka, I'm talking of all parts of Sri Lanka. This is not based only for Colombo.
Yeah.
Of course, Colombo has the majority of the choirs that are known are from Colombo. But have we forgotten Gaul? Have we forgotten Mathura? Have we forgotten Jaffna? Have we forgotten Nuwara Kandy? You know, the span and the talent that we have is so rich. It just needs a bit of a lift and the opportunity to take our choral music and our brand of choral music. Our brand, the Sri Lankan brand of choral music is completely different. Completely different. Definitely it's different to the West. And it is also different to some parts of South Asia. So this is what we want to take out to the international stage. Our brand of choral music.
Great. Now let me talk. Let's get back to this the Lanerolle Brothers. I think, as I said in my intro, the Lanerolle Brothers' fame, I think, goes beyond Sri Lanka. I think you and your brother have brought new standard in performance in Western music, especially to classical music, opera, gospel music, pop music, and on and on. Could you share few important milestones in the musical journey of the Lanerolle Brothers?
Well, I think there is so much to touch on, Chitral, and it's difficult for me to kind of put my finger on something sort of to talk about the important milestones. But if I may answer your question in this way, yes, we've sung in all continents of the globe, and we've sung from audiences from 50 to 500 to 5,000 to 50,000. And I believe that our brand of showmanship, our brand of music is something which is soothing to the ear and it's healing to the heart. And I think wherever we perform for the Sri Lankan diaspora, we perform for the foreign, what would you call the audiences. And we've been loved and respected by everyone around the world. And that is something that it really touches Ishan and myself, because it's a wonderful thing to have, to see that over a period of 13 years of our existence, we continue to have a wonderful following, a following that is increasing. And it shows that obviously there's something good that we are doing. And that's ample testimony to the fact that we've been able to be in existence, as I said earlier, for 13 years. So, of course, I mean, see, if there are very single moments of mention that suddenly just comes to my mind is we sang for the world famous Platters as an opening act in Sri Lanka. We sang for Olivia Newton-John, 4-time Grammy Award winner Olivia Newton-John, when she performed in Sri Lanka. We've sung at New Orleans for, what was it, like 20,000-30,000 people when we did a concert together with Aaron Neville. I'm sure everyone knows. Aaron Neville was the main act, and we had the Branford Marsalis Quartet, which I believe is ranked 4th in the US. So they played first, we sang second, and then we led Aaron Neville to take the stage. We've sung opening acts for Smokey, and Trini Lopez. So we've done a lot of this stuff, but it's nothing like performing to our own Sri Lankans, which brings what should I say, a very closeness to home. So wherever, even I think once we came and we performed in Washington D.C. and it was fabulous. When you sing for people from your home country, but every audience, having said that, every audience is very important to us, and we just love performing for people. And I think, to answer your question, I would say that everything, barring what I just informed you, just told you, have been synonymous in our journey thus far.
So, Ron, as you said, now for 30 years, you've been performing with Ishan, your brother. And I know there are many popular bands who have siblings or sisters, brothers together perform. They have gone, become famous and all that. Not, even in Sri Lanka, you find also the world stage. So that's a wonderful thing. But I think also it could be a little complicated because, sometimes you have this family tension, sibling rivalries and all that. And so could you explain how your work relations with Ishan and how you both kept the balance and somehow make it work for 30 years?
13 actually, 1-3.
Oh, sorry, I'm sorry. Okay, 13.
13.
Yeah.
But no, just to answer your question, this is a question that comes to us, both of us, sometimes together and sometimes as individuals, as to how do you all manage this? Do you all fight? Do you all have arguments? How does this work? And I wouldn't be telling the truth if I said that we don't have a fair share of arguments. But yes, we do, for the betterment of the brand the Lanerolle Brothers. And it's nothing personal. It's it's all to see how the brand is going to evolve and where we want to position ourselves and things that relate to that. So, but Ishan and I, we have never, to be very honest, we have never had a situation where we had to leave a discussion not looking at each other or with some kind of animosity. We have never had that. And I'm extremely thankful to him. And I'm sure if you ask him, he'll say the same thing, that he's thankful for myself for not having that kind of rift. And I would think that is because we clearly define what our roles are, Chitra. So, for example, Ishan is someone who would look at the decor. He will look at the presentation of tickets, the stage, the lighting, the ambience, the attire, our costumes and things like that. While I look after, if it's a sit-down dinner, I look after the meal tasting, the food, the sound, which is all my area, and the songs, the repertoire that we sing. So he will, of course, he has a say in terms of if he doesn't like certain things that I have chosen as a startup song, whatever. He certainly has a say, but if I explain to him what it is all about and why I have decided on so on and so forth, the chances are that he will agree. And but there have been instances where I have changed, and you change for the betterment. If I feel that there is some sense of what he's saying, yes, then we change. Likewise, I generally don't have a say when it comes to his area, because when it comes to things like costumes and things like that, I have absolutely no say in the matter, because if he says, yeah, this is it, you just have to get into this, and that's it. So no arguments on that. But well, in terms of tickets, in terms of stage, backdrops and things like that, yes, we have discussions and we have our differences. And but when we decide on something, we don't have any regrets. We don't turn back, and if something goes wrong, neither of us has ever said, "I told you so." That was the wrong decision. We'll never say that. So we go with our decision, come what may, whether it's right or wrong. So yeah, Chitral. I mean, yes, there are little differences and little what should you call? Yes, possibly arguments, but those are all friendly things. But considering the larger picture of the Lanerolle Brothers brand.
Good. I think that's obviously it's very realistic. Otherwise, if you say no arguments, no tension, obviously that's not
No,
we all have
even
that.
even in family life,
Of course.
it happens, and I think it's necessary. You need that to
Sure.
keep
Oh, yeah.
yourselves going.
Sometimes these creative tensions are important, right? So there's sometimes,
Absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. Rohan, now, I mean, maybe this is a question, maybe you could give a long answer, but let's share briefly now, now how you really started your musical career. I mean, did you knew that this is what you want to do even when you were very young, that you want to, be a musician or choral director? Is that how it happened?
In one word, never. Never. But between Ishan and myself, we are teachers, we are conductors, we are singers, we are entertainers, we are also business people, we are also family, we are husbands, we are fathers. And sometimes people ask, how on earth, where do you have the time to do all of this stuff, But if I may answer that in sort of a nutshell, music was all part and parcel of our lives, Chitral. So from my mother's side, my father's side, they're all musicians, and of course they never took it to a level where we have taken it. But right throughout, so as children, as adults, teenagers, adults, we've been all part of choirs, and music has been part and parcel of all our lives throughout. So, but as you said, no, never did I ever think when I was in school, I never expected, I never thought that I would be, for example, sitting in an International Choral Conductors Federation. I never thought, no way. I don't think Ishan ever dreamt of thinking that we will be singing in all continents of the globe. Would we ever have thought that we could sing for an opening act for a 4-time Grammy Award winner? No, we never thought so. But one of the things that we always remember, and that's the upbringing that we have had, and we want to thank our parents for that, is that we always are very rooted. You just always need to keep in mind that success is something that can happen over a period of time, but the fall can be instant. So as long as you can keep this, and of course the fear of God, because God is in control of everything, and you can't go wrong, and we try to be as human as possible, as respectful as possible to others. And I think if you keep these things, you can go on. But to answer your question, no, we never expected all of these things. It has just happened as we have moved on in life, and it's a wonderful journey. It's a wonderful journey.
Good. And the other thing I want to talk with you now, Rohan, I know that especially last 1.5 years. It's been very challenging for all of the whole of all of the
Absolutely.
world, especially musicians and all these entertainers and all that. And but I know, although it's a challenge, it has also offered many opportunities as well. This COVID, this I know now this in the post-pandemic time, these online classes, these online workshops are becoming popular, and in a way that will allow you to reach global level, I think. Do you have any views on this post-pandemic opportunities in terms of teaching music?
Chitra, I always say that one needs to look at the brightest side of anything. You know, it's the easiest thing for us to think negatively and to look down upon everything and sort of say, what on earth is going on, and we can't come out of this. And you get into this state of this famous word that they call today, which is called depression. You're depressed of everything. But my point has always been, individually and even as family, one needs to be positive. You need to always look at the positive of anything. So you're absolutely right in saying so that the pandemic has in fact benefited some. We, of course, we mourn the loss of lives around the world uh, from this pandemic, but there is also the positives that we have taken out, and online learning has been for me a huge positive. I teach the Visakha Vidyalaya choir, the senior, junior, and primary choirs. But I've been working more with the senior choir over the last 6 or 7 months. We've learned 6 to 7 brand new pieces of music, and I begin to think, would we ever have been able to do so if we had physical school? Because here I work individually on every single, we have 50 in the senior choir. And I give about 6 hours every week on teaching. And this allows me to do a lot of technical work, which is one of my strong points. I do a lot of placement of voice, mouth positions, tongue positions, jaw positions, breathing techniques, and head voice, chest voice. All of these things, I don't think I'll be able to do so in a physical class of, say, 45 minutes in school. But the online platform has allowed me to do so. And likewise with my 2 choirs that I conduct in the Frisilia Mixed Choir in Indonesia and the Awanaga Choir in India. The same story. There's a lot of other things that we have worked on over this period of 6 or 7 months. I mean, I'm looking at only this year, but we've also done last year. But I'm just thinking this 7 months has been extremely productive where I'm concerned and where Ishan is concerned. I mean, he teaches about 100 over students online, different times. I have had some Sri Lankans who are living abroad who have had master classes online. So it's been absolutely wonderful.
Great, good. Yeah, I think like you said, any situation we always can find a positive thing, and so I think that's what we have to look for. Now, maybe I'm wrong, but I think the in Sri Lanka's choral music industry is not that popular or established as in some other countries. In other words, like maybe like you said, Colombo and maybe some main cities in schools, but maybe what about Mahavidyalayas? What about in all these other places? Now, what else need to be done to popularize Sri Lanka's choirs in these places?
It's a brilliant question. And it's a very, very vast question. Yes, believe me when I say so that there are some Mahavidyalayas in our country that don't have a music teacher. They don't have. Some schools don't even have a piano, which is essential. But the feel, the love for singing is still there. And this is where I'm coming from. You know, we had Sanajaya Surya came from Mathura. Like this, there were so many cricketers who came from outskirts of this country, unheard of places, unheard of schools. And this is where, for me, there is so much of talent that lies in all parts of this country. Colombo, yes, we know teachers are there, schools are there. The establishment itself lends you and gives you that opportunity. But there are so many who are waiting for an opportunity, but they don't have the know-how or the facilities to do so. So there are a lot of plans that I have, which over a period of time, I hope people will support me, where we could work together to do a lot of things in other parts of this country. Because I think that is where we need to look from out to in. That is the name of the game. And the good thing is that we have always had a very rich culture of choral music in this country, Chitra, over a long period of time. And you possibly know the name Lily Godrich, who was my teacher. And I remember the things that he did. It's in my mind. And these are some of the things that I want to do. And I hope we will be able to create an infrastructure where we can work on and develop and empower most of these other schools in the outskirts of this country to sing something, something. It doesn't have to be something over the top. It doesn't have to be something very serious, but let's try and get people to enjoy this kind of culture. That is what I intend doing to begin.
Great. And I think you also mentioned this. You are not only you are a musician. You have many other things. You are an entrepreneur, and I know you and your family has a very successful business. Could you talk a little bit about that, Rohan?
Yes, of course. So we have. Let me try and explain this very quickly. We have two entities. One is a packaging plant. We have 18 machines that produce tea bags. So we produce something like 1 to 1.5 million tea bags every day. And we have another entity which is a conversion, a machine conversion entity, which is called the C2S, C2S, conversion to staplers. So that is pioneered and it's basically done by my father. I handle the packaging plant and the operations of that. And Ishan and my father handle the conversion part of machines. So what we've done is a world invention. My father has done a world invention at the age of 76, where we have made the previously stapled tea bags stapleless, because the world is going into this industry. And we've made these stapled bags stapleless. And we are in the process, we have already started selling this conversion that Dad has done to the existing machine, which is, dated 1950s, 60s, 70s, 80s. And what he has done is, he has given the small and medium enterprises that have these machines a new lease of life, because otherwise these machines have to be thrown as scrap iron. So this is a new thing and it will be coming more in the news over the next 2 or 3 weeks, or probably the month. It's a conversion to an existing tea bagging machine to make the existing tea bagging machine with staples stapleless, which is what he has done. And currently we are already selling these units to different parts of the world.
Oh, good. So we don't have a lot of time. So let me ask this final question now. I know we are living in a very uncertain times, but yet, obviously we have to have some plans as we go move along. So, what do you have any future plans in terms of your music and or maybe any journeys that you are planning, or tours, concerts, whatnot? Anything you want to share?
We, as the Lanerolle Brothers, have we definitely were touring Australia. I know that. And unfortunately, for obvious reasons in the world, that didn't happen. We were also supposed to go to Malaysia and Singapore, which also had to be postponed. We also had a tour to Vienna and Graz, and also Croatia, which again has had to be kept out for the moment. So there are a lot of tours that are supposed to take place. Hopefully, sometime in Boston. I don't know. Hopefully, because we've been to Washington D.C. some years ago, maybe 5-6 years ago, possibly. So we would love to come that way and entertain our people. So there are a lot of things that's there in the pipeline, Chitra. And we are really looking forward to that when we can get on board the plane next time. And we are all waiting, not only the Lanerolle Brothers, but all the bands who normally come to the US, go to London, Australia, and they perform. You know, these people, we are all very badly hit. I mean, I would say that Ishan and I, we are fine because we have other businesses and things like that, Chitral. But bands that live their livelihood is that kind of entertainment are extremely badly hit. And when I say badly hit, they are badly hit. You know, and I can't. Some of the stories, in fact, I can't even tell you. So we as an industry, as a music industry, we just hope that things will settle down soon. Thankfully, there's a huge vaccination drive that is going on in the country, and hopefully, in time to come, maybe at the end of September or early October, we hope that things will kind of pick up in this country, and that we can, of course, come and perform to our people and keep entertaining crowds over the world, around the world.
Good. Yeah, definitely. That's I think that's our hope, and I especially, like you said, the whole music industry, not only music industry, the whole economy, all these people are having going through very difficult times, and we hope and pray that we'll see the light in the end of the tunnel, I guess.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and definitely, and I hope you could definitely come to US and come to Boston, come to New York, and perform, and we can meet each other in person.
Of course. I hope. And if anyone is interested, please pass down my info.
Yes.
We would love to discuss and see what we can do there in that part of the world. Thank you.
Definitely. So, Rohan, thank you so much. And so it's so good to have you in our program and to have this conversation, and very enlightening in many ways. And so we wish you all the best, and hopefully you could continue to go, make us proud as Sri Lankans, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you very much, Chitra, once again for having me, and to all the listeners out there. Thank you so much for supporting, well, initially the Lanerolle Brothers, and of course now with this with the appointment that I have been given, I hope I'll be able to keep the lion flag flying.
Right. Okay. I'll say goodbye to you. Okay.
Thank you once again.
Turu piri jaya bumi Osiris Saita Sadana Jiva Laema